Maxwell. Jessie. Oh, my dearest.
Watson?
Holmes!
It is safe to assume that your fever has broken.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry, old friend. I'll not speak of this. But I would suggest that for the time being you avoid Oscar Wilde.
I'm bewildered by the evening's events. The last thing I remember, we were outside the Savoy Theatre discussing Jack Point. What happened next?
Well, after you collapsed, gloved hands reached round and held my nose.
I could not breathe safe through my mouth.
And brought a vial of liquid to my lips.
It was either drink or suffocate.
And I drank. It tasted bitter. And
was faintly charged with alcohol.
I have known parents who cozened reluctant children into swallowing medicine in that fashion. Well, eventually, 2 constables on their rounds spied us, and after ascertaining that I could not describe our attacker, put us in a cab back to Baker Street. At any rate, hasn't seemed to have done us any real harm.
Rather the reverse. But why were we attacked? Are we getting too close?
Too close to whom, Watson? That is the question. McCarthy led us to Bunthorne, which in turn led us to Gilbert and the Savoy, which then led us to another course, and finally, Jack Point. We must find the other side of our triangle.
And will that lead us to Arthur Sullivan?
Yes, indeed it does. Hello? Whom have we here? Come in, Shaw.
I believe this is for you.
No postmark. Hand delivered, of course. Shaw, you didn't see anyone? No, of course you didn't. Address, typewritten on a Remington in need of a new ribbon. Paper. Paper is Indian, yes. Definite watermark. No visible fingerprints.
Holmes, for once, would you just read it?
Very well. Liverpool Daily Mail, Morning Courant, London Times, and the Saturday Review, if I am not mistaken.
Mistaken about what?
Oh, different sources for the cutting. Here.
As you value your lives, stay out of the West End.
Perhaps I best be going.
Ah, Pashaw. Still a game, Watson.
To the very last, Holmes. No anonymous coward will dissuade me from our course.
Capital! Then let's press on to Sir Arthur Sullivan and the Lyceum Theatre. A place I know you have avoided these past several years, but which I now implore you to revisit.
I'll just get my hat.
Why does he avoid the Lyceum?
It was there he met his late wife, Mary Morstan, on the case to which you alluded earlier.
I didn't realise. How long has it been since she passed on?
3 years. And you need mention this no further, Shaw. Surprise us all with a rare voyage to discretion.
Well, I'll do it, but I won't like it.
Bump like what?
I am afraid that you'll have to proceed on without me. I am persona non grata in the eyes of Henry Irving, and am barred at present by threat of physical force.
Oh, what a surprise.
Well, you're welcome to wait here until I return. Come, Watson, to the West End and the Lyceum Theatre.
Yeah, that's the one. On the hand.
No, okay.
Hi-ho,
To
gentlemen.
the West End and the Lyceum Theatre.
May I help you?
Oh, we are looking for Sir Arthur Sullivan. Might he be here this morning?
Who wants to know?
Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. This must be the writer, Dr. Watson. Sir Arthur's on stage with Sir Henry working on the music. May I help you with something?
You may help me with Sir Arthur.
Thought you'd be taller.
What a singular personage. I declare, Holmes, there doesn't seem to be a sane individual connected with this profession.
There was a time when decent hotels wouldn't put them up, and it used to be a commonplace to observe that an actor shocked President Lincoln. But wait, did that man say Sir Henry? Oh, surely not. No actor has ever been knighted, perish the thought.
Good morning. Tickets for Shakespeare's Scottish tragedy do not go on sale until noon, though you are smart to queue now. For tickets are going as fast as the latest edition of the Strand magazine. Why, Dr. Watson.
Delighted. This is Mr. Sherlock Holmes, and of course, we have the honour of addressing the divine Ellen Terry.
Oh, you're so very kind. But tell me, Dr. Watson, is the game afoot?
Yes.
Ooh, how delicious.
There was a dark-haired, bearded gentleman here a moment ago. I believe he has gone up upon my errand.
So, you've met Mamma, and may I presume you're here to see the crab?
The crab?
Forgive my penchant for nicknames. The crab thinks I'm quite incorrigible.
Irving, I take it, is the crab?
Oh, but you mustn't say that in front of him. I mean, Henry is terribly sensitive about the way he walks.
And Mama?
Mr. Stoker, our stage manager and general secretary. He's so very protective of us that I call him Mama. May I ask what your business is with Mama and the crab?
Our business is with Sir Arthur Sullivan, not with Sir Henry.
Oh, but you mustn't say Sir Henry. It's yet 2 months before Queen Victoria lays sword to shoulder. Oh, think of it. One of our profession. Oh, Mamma calls him Sir already. He's very fond of titles. But Henry, oh no, it drives him quite wild. You know, I know it sounds ridiculous, but some thespians are so superstitious.
And how goes Macbeth?
You said it! Quickly, you must do the antidote. You must perform the antidote. Turn around 3 times. 1, hurry. 2, 3. Now, say something awful. Or say...
Bollocks?
Very good. Now spit. Oh, thank you, my dear, dear Dr. Watson. One must never say that name inside a theater. Or ever, for that matter. It is cursed, you know. But yes, we are attempting to recreate what we did before. Revivals can be so trying.
Must he do that?
You startled us, Ram.
I beg your pardon. Sir Arthur will see you now.
Oh, thank you, Ram. I'll take them in.
They're on stage, Ellen.
Dear Mamma.
It seems to me I've met Mr. Stoker before. Does he live in Soho?
Shh! You must never mention that in there. Oh, it was a sore point the first time it was mentioned. I don't think he's ever forgiven him. And that was years ago.
Whatever do you mean?
Shh! I beg of you, please. Dr. Watson, Mr. Holmes.
No, dear chap. As music, it may be all very well, but it's not right for our purpose at all. Listen, I see the daggers, and I want them heard by the audience.
But Henry, what do daggers sound like?
What do they sound like? Well, they sound like,
Oh, yes. Yes, I see what you mean. That's much better. Yes, I think I can do that.
Good.
Yes.
Sorry to disturb, but here are 2 gentlemen that wish to see Sir Arthur. Dr. Watson, Mr. Holmes, may I present Sir Arthur Sullivan and Mr.
Henry Irving.
Oh, gentlemen, we are so sorry to have kept you waiting. Is that
Yes,
good?
yes, the game's afoot. I've just a few questions regarding the matter at the Savoy.
I have been with the police most of the morning. I don't know what I can tell you that I haven't told them.
Tea break, kindly clear the stage.
Thank you. May I ask at whose behest you come to see me?
We are here at the behest of justice.
More prosaically, we were asked to look into the matter by Mr. Bernard Shaw.
Shaw? Nellie, is this any of your doing?
Dearest, I give my word I know nothing. I met these two gentlemen in the lobby moments ago.
I give you fair warning, Nellie. I give you fair warning. I will not have that vegetarian in this theatre.
Henry, please.
I will not have him in this theatre, and I will not produce any of his revolting plays. And if he publishes any more drivel about Shakespeare or the way we do things here, I will thrash him personally.
Henry, come along. Let's leave these gentlemen to their business.
I apologize for my outburst, gentlemen. I know I am sometimes carried away whilst bearing the standards for the theatre against the vanguard of the new champion by the likes of Ibsen and Shaw. Tales told by idiots and signifying nothing, which I shall fight to the last syllable of recorded time. Good day!
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, please don't say goodbye. For strangers we once were, and now no longer. I hope from time to time that I will enter your thoughts in a memorable way. And as for me, I will eagerly await your next adventure with flushed anticipation. Adieu.
Mr. Holmes, why is Bernard Shaw meddling in this?
He did not engage us specifically in the matter of Miss Rutland, but rather in connection with the murder of Jonathan McCarthy.
McCarthy was a parasite, preying upon art and artists.
You are aware, sir, that Jessie Rutland was Jonathan McCarthy's mistress?
That's impossible! Oh.
You are too ill to continue this interview.
Ill. I am dying. These kidney stones are working their way with me. I work to forget. Go on.
You violently resist the idea of Jonathan McCarthy as Jessie Rutland's lover. It's not merely because you despise the man. You know better, don't you?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to say.
Jessie Rutland is dead. We cannot restore her life, but there is one thing we can do, and that is to bring her murderer to the dock.
Very well. What do you want to know?
Tell us about Jack Point.
Pardon me?
McCarthy made a practice of substituting characters for your operas for proper names of people, and had an appointment on the night of his death with Jack Point. Point is a hapless jester who loses his love. Is he not?
He is. He is! So you think Jessie had a second lover?
You've as good as told me she had, Sir Arthur.
I engaged Jessie Rutland 3 years ago and never had any reason to regret my decision. She was an orphan who had sung in church choirs. Gaining a position at the Savoy meant everything to her. I'm all right. I'm fine. Thank you.
Go on.
She was very pretty, with a lovely soprano, a little coarse in the middle range, but that would have improved with time and practice. Several weeks ago, Jessie approached me after rehearsal. She was clearly distraught. My first impulse was to refer her to Liebert.
If I confide in Mr. Liebert, I am lost. I will lose my place and he will be harmed as well.
Tell me what has upset you.
Recently, I made the acquaintance of a gentleman to whom I have become most attached. He's quite perfect in every way, and his behaviour towards myself has never been less than proper. Oh, Sir Arthur, he's so very perfect that even Mr. Liebert must approve. I have fallen in love.
But, my dear, this is no cause for tears. You ought to be congratulated. As for Mr. Gilbert, I give my word of honor that he will dance at your wedding.
There can be no wedding, for he is already married.
If he has deceived you in this fashion, then he is utterly unworthy of your affection, and you are well rid of him.
You don't understand. He's not deceived me as you mean. His wife is an invalid, confined to a nursing home in Bombay.
One moment. Did she say Bombay?
Yes.
Watson, make note of that. Right, continue.
His wife can neither hear nor speak nor walk, as she was the victim of a stroke 5 years ago. Nevertheless, he is chained to her. He dared not tell me of his plight for fear of losing me. Yet when he saw the direction our affections were taking, he knew he must disclose the truth. And now, Sir Arthur, oh, what should I do?
What did you advise?
I advised her to follow her heart.
Did she say anything at all concerning her young man that would enable us to identify him?
She was most careful to avoid doing so.
How much of all of this did you tell to the police this morning?
None, I fear.
Not a word.
The woman cannot now be compromised, surely.
But I can be compromised. And your visit here clearly underscores that likelihood. I swore to Jessie I would not reveal her secret to Gilbert, but warned her that I could not shield her from the consequences should
Gilbert learn of her intrigue from another source.
Exactly. And you see, as successful as I may seem, I need Gilbert. Our talents are entangled to the point where I can no longer discern where he begins and I end. However, that is for history to decide, Mr. Holmes, but I hope you won't judge this old fool too harshly.
Don't worry, Sir Arthur. I always leave indiscretions and judgments to others. I thank you for your time.
If you gentlemen will follow me, I'll show you to the door.
Did you observe his boots?